Well, hello, everybody. We are officially back, and it's May. That means flowers are growing, grass is green, and most importantly, parks are open. We're going to talk everything amusement parks tonight. And we have upcoming trips, latest news. Sit back, relax, pop a cold one. Garage is now open. See you soon.
Well, hello there. How
And
are you?
heidi ho there, friend. I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Welcome to Mac Guy's Garage again. The garage is back open. The
Yes.
place where we just sit around, hang out, and have some fun, or at
Yeah.
least try to. What say you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a month. We're back. It's good to be back.
And the weather is finally warm.
And very stormy. But yes,
Yeah, true.
it's been a rough go the last few weeks or the last month. But
Hey, that reminds me of something. Couldn't you say we are on like a roller coaster?
of a weather, yes, absolutely.
You,
Several loops.
you're let's say you said that, and first thing I thought of is that nice coaster behind you there.
Yeah. I figured to get us in the spirit and the mood of things, it would be pretty appropriate to put a good old coaster up there behind me.
Me, I just got my my good old garage setting here. I got the car over here, and I got some models, and I got electronics down here. Just all the fun stuff.
I'm gonna say they are still all fun things. So
Of course. So, anyways, back to the intro. What have you been up to lately?
Well, I've been doing a lot of work things, but fortunately, that stuff is now past, and we are preparing for one of several amusement park trips that we will be taking part in this year. Yes,
You're here.
here for sure. Mine's not showing up, of course.
Well, that's that technology for you.
I know, right?
Looks good, but doesn't act right.
Dominate everything. So yeah, we're coming up on a nice little vacation here. We're going to check out two parks that I have been alluding to in previous shows many times over. It's finally here. We're almost there. So, how about you?
Yeah, just work. I lead a drab life right now. Go to work, come home, do some work, help my older son in the yard a little bit, the past week or so. It's, with the weather the way it's been, it's just not fun. Cold one day, colder one day, winter's way gone, so we're not going to say cold. Colder one day and warmer the next, and there again, like I said before, it's a roller coaster ride of fun that I really don't want. I'd rather have that kind of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I feel you on the outside work there. With all the rain we've been getting and the strange weather overall, it's made for doing outside chores a bit more frequently this early in the season. So,
yeah, but what are you going to do? That's whenever you own a house, you got to do stuff like that.
Keep up maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Have it.
But you got to have the fun too.
Yes.
And what do we do here at Mac Guy's Garage? We try to have fun.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, our trip is coming up, and I will be taking. Yes, I will tell. I will be taking several pictures and videos to capture the moment. But we are T-minus less than 2 weeks away from visiting two glorious locations in the great state of Virginia.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yes, one Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, and another in Doswell, Virginia, King's Dominion, which is a fairly popular amusement park owned by the Cedar Fair Company. They are the owners of Cedar Point and Kings Island and
Ooh.
other larger amusement parks in the greater Midwest area. So, yeah, we are starting to finalize um, plans for both of those parks, and we are hoping that the weather cooperates. So, we have officially scheduled our visit for Busch Gardens for that week, and we are going to play the weather by ear and pick one of pick a better day between two other days and see how it works. We had to take advantage of a sale though for Busch Gardens. That's why we had to get our tickets a little bit early because
Eh,
they are quite expensive.
oh yeah. Well, that's just the funny thing with amusement parks in general. It's just prices keep going up and up and up.
And not to get on like a Debbie Downer horse, but like if you want to, there are so many additional fees involved if you really want to partake in all day dining options or fast passes, fast lanes, quick queues, whatever they may call them at different parks, so that you are ensured possibility of riding as many rides as possible, which is fine, but it does get you can get in the weeds with that. It's like reading a contract negotiation sometimes.
This is true. I mean, well, on one side of things, they nickel and dime you for everything, but on the other side, it's like, well, if the park is that popular, does it make more sense for your time to go and spend an extra 40 or $50 to do the fast pass stuff to make it, run a lot quicker? I mean, that's the thing you got to look at with that nowadays.
And I do have an opinion on that. If we can touch this point just a little bit, because it is related.
Sure.
It is related to amusement parks. So I have sort of adopted this mentality of if it's a park that I've been to several times, or will continue to go to several times. We are very fortunate enough to go to Cedar Point at least every other year, and I'm getting to the point now where that to me it's not worth it there because I've ridden a lot of those rides multiple times. Unless I have that itch to just be like, ooh, how many times can I ride as many rides as possible within the time frame we're here? So that's one end of the spectrum. But when we're visiting brand new places that we've never been, we are investing the extra money just to make sure that we get to pretty much do everything and hopefully get to ride some of these rides more than once, because the first time is great and you don't forget it, but you also don't know the ride yet.
Mm-hmm.
You get to ride it successive or multiple times. That's when you get to know the nooks and crannies.
The little quirks and such.
Yes, the second drop is better than the first drop, or this corkscrew is coming up and it's going to completely rattle the hell out of my brain or something like that. Yeah. So we are going to be investing in them this time around. Also, because we are only going to be at both park for one day, we decided just to do one day at each park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, nonetheless, though, it's still a one day of fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we'll be there the entire day. We'll get there early when the parking opens and stay until they close, because neither one of them, I guess it's still early enough in the season that neither park is going to be staying open, till like 9 or 10 o'clock. It's looking more like 7 or 8, it'll still be light out by the time they close, which kind of stinks in a way, but it will still have had 6 or 7 hours of good time, fun.
Here's a question for you.
Sure.
Daytime or nighttime in a park, which is your favorite?
I definitely prefer night. I prefer dusk, but I'm also a fan of night because I love riding the roller coasters in the evening as well, or any other thrill ride in the evening. There's just an added sense of weirdness, creepiness, danger, adrenaline rush because you can't see as well. It's a little more like you're kind of going into a haunted house and there's these nooks and crannies you don't know what to expect or something like that. So that's my answer. How about you?
It all depends on the park. I mean, or the time of the year. You
Mhm.
know, there's a lot of times that I like the night, but then there's I mean, most of the time I should say I like late afternoon, then going into the night because you have best of both worlds. You
Mhm.
have the daytime run around doing stuff, but then you also can see because I mean, you can't go wrong with an amusement park lit up at night.
Yeah,
I
great.
mean, the atmosphere, just simply put, and the best thing that's the thing I always liked about, theme parks is not just the specific. I always love the rides. You can't go wrong with the rides, but the atmosphere of it,
Mhm.
I want to say, because there again, I've probably said a couple other times, you my grandfather, his company picnic was out at Idora Park out in Youngstown, Ohio, when I was a young kid, and that kind of like solidified. Ooh, I like doing this. This is fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and ever since then, I always try to go to amusement parks whenever I can. Like specifically, we're I had mentioned about the prices keep going up and up.
Mhm.
Waldermere Park up in Erie, PA. They have it where there might be other parks that do this, but they're one of the few parks that you can actually walk into the park and just sit at a park bench. Like if you're, grandparents or something like that, they don't want to ride. But if
Yeah.
you want to ride, you buy an all-day ride wristband, and then you can ride whatever you want. So,
Ah,
and it's free parking too, I believe. It might have changed for that, but you know, the last time I went up there, it was both of those things, free parking
wouldn't
as
that
well.
be great? Oh, if all of them sort of had that option or, those set of rules.
Oh yeah. Well, Kennywood, they used to have, I think it was like $15 after 5 or $20 after
Oh,
5
yeah.
o'clock. You could ride for the rest of the evening, and my brother and I used to do that a lot. We'd meet up. Okay, we're going to Yeah, going to Kennywood. And we'd go then because we could still enjoy stuff and not pay a small fortune.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. The after 4 PM or night passes or whatever they're called, yeah, those type of tickets are I noticed that a lot of them still have that as an option, which is at least a way to help cut costs. And like if it's during the weekday, which is great, after a certain time period, the other reason why I like night, both of these points are going to play into this is that the lines start fading as time goes on, which means you get to ride even more rides potentially. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
but I was going to make a joke. I was like, "Oh yeah, tell me the Christmas lights guy doesn't like the evening because of the lights." Of course.
Yeah, it's like yeah, that's
No, but
part
it
of it.
it definitely adds an extra dimension and an element and an atmosphere, like you're saying, to the entire experience.
Yeah, it kind of comes to life. And you know, Disney World at daytime is still good, but at nighttime it just turns into something even more than that.
Magic? The Magic Kingdom?
The well, but then again though, how me, the Christmas light guy, flying or driving all the way down there during a non-holiday is to me is just a way overpriced amusement park. You
Yeah.
know, there's some people would disagree because, oh, I go there and it's just as, but it's the same. I don't know. It kind of sits into the same effect for me as, say going to the beach.
Mm,
If you go to the beach on vacation, you're there 1, maybe 2 weeks, you enjoy it because you're not there. Now, if
mhm.
you move down there, then it would be just like you're living wherever,
Right, yeah,
Yeah, it'd be like, "Oh, am
it's
I
the
going to
norm.
the beach?" And then it's like, it just gets old after a while.
Yeah, it becomes the norm, and there's nothing special about it.
Exactly, exactly. So, that's why I always say, if you're going down to Disney World, especially, go there for either Halloween or Christmas. And here's a little tip, you go the first week in November, you still get the Christmas stuff, plus it's not as packed as being right, 2 or 3 weeks before
Christmas
Christmas.
crowd, yeah.
So,
Good
and
tips and tricks, ladies and gentlemen.
and there's even like a lot of other amusement parks are starting to do, the holiday themes, staying open longer and everything. And so you may have an amusement park in, your neck of the woods, that does that too.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. Good points.
So on the amusement park side of things, have you heard any news updates or blips or anything like that?
Yeah, some good, some bad.
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, I can touch upon 3 different quick news articles on 3 different parks specifically, and some of them may be a little bit older, but some of them are fairly recent too, that many might already know. But
You have an
start.
article happen to have an article on that?
Yeah, we'll start with the good. How about that?
Oh, you mean we can't get the bad stuff out of the way and then
Well, I have to pull it up, which I could easily do. Okay, I've got my 2 bad up here for a second. I'm just pulling.
hopefully it's not too bad, like, oh, they're demolishing this coaster and it's been in use since the 1910s.
Fortunately, it's not demolishing, but
Oh,
they are quite problematic. Let's start with this one. And I just have to present. We'll go with this. And if everyone can see my screen there. So,
hold on a second.
okay.
There we go.
Got it?
Oh yeah.
So,
I've heard
yeah,
about this.
one of the main attractions at our beloved Kennywood is going to be closed for the entirety of 2024. So the Steel Curtain is the newest of the roller coaster offerings at Kennywood. It is a phenomenal ride. When it's running, it is very close to, if not the best ride in the park. And in the running, I would also include Phantom's Revenge with that as well. So, but they have been having massive issues with this ride for the last several years. It's been open and closed, I don't know, for at least 2 or 3 years. It came into existence in 2019 after they replaced the Log Jammer, which was a beloved roller coaster, a beloved water ride at Kennywood for several years. So it was a controversial decision, but at least they made it Steeler themed, which is great because this park is located outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's never been. I don't think it's made it through a full year without having some sort of closure. So hopefully, this extended closure throughout the entirety of 2024, they'll be able to fix these problems and get it up and running and working again for 2025. Because, like I said, in my opinion, when it is going, and I have ridden it several times, it is one badass coaster. It really is.
I still have to work up to that. It took me a while to get work up the nerves to go to the Sky Coaster or the Rock. No, not yeah. Is it the Sky Coaster? Skyrocket.
Skyrocket.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then again, no, I love that ride a lot now.
Yeah, Skyrocket's amazing. Skyrocket to me is a beautiful small version of this coaster called oh come on. It's a Cedar Point coaster. Maverick. It's like a smaller version of Maverick in several different spots. It's not an exact replica of the Maverick track. But there are points within it and designs within the track that kind of operate in the same way. It's I think it's an underrated coaster at Kennywood, personally. And if you hit it the right point of the day, I've been able to ride that a dozen times within one Kennywood outing or something like that, because the lines aren't too terrible.
I think I hit it 2 times in a row.
Oh yeah, nice.
Possibly 3 times. I was like, that was a fun night. Yeah. The anytime. Well, that's like, I don't know if I've ever mentioned the 1 year we were down in Disney World at Hollywood Studios, my older son and I, the rest of the family went to Fantasmic. My
Okay.
older son and I just said, you know what? We're going to go ride the rock and roller coaster. We did it probably 4 or 5 times in a row. We had I think two sets of fast passes. The line wasn't hardly long the one time, and then we even squeezed in a final time, before we got a phone call from my wife going, yeah, we're walking out. Where are you guys at? We're getting off the coaster now, and literally was getting off the coaster. So yeah, it was pretty sweet, that we got the ride like back to back to back on that.
Yeah.
That to me, outside of the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster ride, the new one in Epcot,
Mm-hmm.
I think that Guardians might edge out Rock and Roller Coaster, but you can't beat whenever you get loaded into the car, it goes around to the launch pad and it shoots you off down, from the like 0 to 60 in like 2 or 3 seconds. I mean, because it's got the magnetic propulsion system, from what I understand. And that thing, I mean, it just plants you in the back of the seat. But sorry to steal your thunder there. Whoop.
I'm sorry. I said, no, this is great. This is great back and forth. This is what we want, right? So
My bad. I didn't know if I muted you or
no. That was me. That was my fault. So
Sherman, you must take a drink from the cup.
yes.
Anyways.
But yeah, so other news, we'll continue with bad because I do want to end with a good, is that after much anticipation by many in the amusement park and roller coaster community, Cedar Point unveiled their new replacement for the old Top Thrill Dragster, which is now being called Top Thrill 2. And it's been heavily hyped, and there's been a lot of PR around it. And they opened it up, and things have gone wrong, which is the vast history of this ride as well.
Is that like Murphy's Law? What can go wrong will go wrong?
Yes, absolutely. And it certainly does with this ride as well. So they're having mechanical issues, and I guess the maker of the coaster, I think the maker is Zamperla, is saying that they have to close it for an extended period of time to make some mechanical modifications. And there is no clear time frame on when this ride will be open, although I do think they are expecting it to be within the 2024 season at some point still. But yeah, big problems here with what is probably going to be the largest and fastest roller coaster to live in Cedar Point once it does actually open up and do its thing. And I just wanted to show real quickly, if we can, modifications that they made to this specific ride, what it's going to look like eventually when it opens up. All right, so here we go.
Oh, you faded out a little bit there.
Am I still here, though?
Oh, yeah. No, your audio cut out. Are you playing something or?
Yes.
Oh, no, I can't see it.
Oh, sorry.
I'm like, you're just kind of sitting there going, I can't
Yeah,
see.
that's because I need to share the right screen. So let's try this now.
Going to be launched down a.
With TIAA, you can get guaranteed growth in any market.
You know what? We're just going to skip that because.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't too much of that because.
Yeah. Anyway, the goal for that was just to show you the different modifications of this particular roller coaster. So before, I'll try and highlight with my hands. You started off, you shot out, you went up a big hill, and it took you over the top, and you came back down the other side of the hill. That was it. I've always thought this was a very overrated roller coaster personally, because you're on it for 25 seconds and you wait 2 hours in line to ride a ride for 25 seconds. But everyone's like, "Ooh, you go 150 mile or however fast it is. It's crazy fast and it's crazy high, and it's over within 2 blinks of your eyelashes." So, but they had problems with it because they could never get over the top of the hill a lot of times. So to fix that, they put, okay, if we look at it this way now, they shoot you out and you go up the hill, but then you come back down the hill and they put a backtrack that goes up so that you can gain steam when you come back down, so that it'll take you up over the hill now and finish out the other way.
Huh.
So
kind of like the laser loop, sort of, maybe.
I guess, yeah. I was never around for the laser loop, so I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I know.
But
But
it's actually back in the U.S. now. Apparently, it was down in Mexico for a while, but now it's back in the U.S. So for some reason, I don't know why, I looked that up and found out about that. So, but sorry, go ahead.
No, that's news. I mean, like, that's news for me. I did not realize that. That's great to know. It's back in the States, at least.
Yep, it's stateside.
All right, that's cool. But yeah, the goal for that ride was so that so they didn't have to completely tear it down. They built this back end to it so that it could gain momentum when it shoots you back out again to get you up over that hill. And they're marketing it in a way as like, this is the first ever coaster to do that at this size and speed, and that's probably true, so that they can claim an innovative type of thing and break a new world record. But as we're seeing, there are problems with this even. So I hope they get it together, because it would be nice. Everyone loves that ride, or a lot of people love that ride, that are fans of Cedar Point. I would rather spend my time waiting an hour in 2 different or 3 different other roller coasters, and I will get a much longer and more pleasurable experience out of it.
Now, is the Gemini still out there?
Yes, the Gemini is still operating.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's the racing style coaster, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
but it's a hybrid track. It's not a true wood coaster.
Oh, okay.
They have.
It's no, my bad. It's just, you mean metal tracks and then wood superstructure?
Frame. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Essentially, I think a lot of people mistake it. The non-coaster enthusiasts probably mistake it as a wood roller coaster because of the wood frame.
Mm-hmm.
But it really is truly a hybrid. It's not a true wood roller coaster. There's only one left at Cedar Point now, and that's their first one, which was the Blue Streak.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, but also too, then I give them props because they still have the Blue Streak, unlike Conneaut Lake Park. Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that bonehead up there that has control of it. Like I did actually make it all the way up there the one time, but it was right before they were closing, because I always wanted to go there. I thought there was a car show there, but yeah, there was a car show of 5 cars, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, they've just had bad luck over the last decade, maybe, of different owners and fires, and then this one. The other tidbit, I didn't know if you knew, that Blue Streak was a winner of a Pepsi Refresh challenge, I think they called it, or something like that.
Cool.
Where they actually rehabbed it. I mean, obviously this is probably 10 plus years ago, but still, though, that was one of the ones that actually, won. They won money from Pepsi Corporation to, rehab it.
Huh. Did not know that either.
So, I'm kind of like Cliff Clavin of, random fun stuff,
Hey, it makes for fun trivia and good info for everyone to know about. So we love these places a lot, right? So knowing their history and what's happening with them is vital information to give out to people who want to go either experience these rides again and again and again, or want to experience them for the first time. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's amusement. I I can't say for sure in the future, but you always want to keep the visitorship and ridership up, just kind of like with model railroading. You want new people interested to get interested in it, to keep the hobby, keep the experience alive.
Yeah. Frankly, I've talked to so many people, and there's a lot of people that this is frustrating. They don't enjoy wood roller coasters because it beats them up, and I don't know, they're not as intense as some of these steel or hyper coasters that are designed now. And I don't know. I just sit there and I'm thinking to myself, that's a shame that you feel that way, because without these originals, let's call them, we wouldn't have what we have today. These are sort of like, they started the roller coaster game in a lot of ways.
Oh
And
yeah.
and the fact that they're still operating and can work. I mean, look at some of these other legendary wood roller coasters like the Jackrabbit or the Thunderbolt or the Mean Streak, or well, what was the Mean Streak? I meant to say the Beast at Kings Island. I mean, they're all legendary and they're all still operating 80, 90, 100 years later. It's crazy. So,
Well, even with, and I know I definitely, I think mentioned about this, the the dips in Lakemont Park in Altoona, PA. That thing was like 1800s, probably, I want to say.
late
And
18, yeah.
they just rehabbed it. Well, there again, that was 10 or more years ago. You pay each time you want to ride it, but that turns around and goes back into keeping the coaster preserved, and it's just a simple figure eight out and back type coaster. It's not intense, is not even close. I mean, you could probably run as fast as these cars go down the hill, but at the time it was revolutionary.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And who the heck doesn't love the sound of that clank, 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 clank that goes up? Classic amusement park sound, along with the merry-go-round and a couple other things that you could think of, like the wood clank, 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 clank when it goes up the first hill, and the roar it makes because of the wooden structure when it comes down the hills. You don't get that with these steel roller coasters. I'm not dissing steel roller coasters, people. I love them all. I'm just defending the wood ones.
Oh yeah,
haters out there.
oh yeah. Well, let's put it this way: the Idora Park that I mentioned too, they had the two roller coasters there. One was the Jackrabbit, and one was the Wildcat. The Wildcat was, I bet you, if you ask any of the old school Ace members, what I think that's the one I'm wanting to talk about, the Ace, whatever, the big coaster enthusiast.
Yeah, I think it's American Coaster Enthusiasts. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it is Ace. But it was continually ranked like in the top, I want to say top 10 or so of coasters, of all time coasters, was the Wildcat. Sadly, that's kind of what quickly did in Idora Park, is there was a fire that burnt part of that down. But if you look up the Wildcat on there, you'll see that, the way the track was and everything like that, it was just, everyone raves about it. And then, the Jackrabbit was kind of the secondary coaster there. It was still good because it was an out and back coaster. And when they lost the Wildcat, I do remember, because we went there and, when they closed, the year that they were at 84 is when they closed. So we went there sometime in 84. It was kind of sad to see that big empty area, but they turned the cars for the Jackrabbit around, called it the Backwabbit, just to try to get some ridership up. But ultimately, unfortunately, it closed at the end of the year and got sold off. But though, and I mentioned this too, is the carousel from there is now called Jane's Carousel up in New York. She meticulously restored it, and it runs up there now. So if you're ever interested in riding a really old amusement or really old amusement merry-go-round that was meticulously restored by an artist. That's where to go.
That would be great. Yeah. Again, another great tidbit, factual piece of info there.
Yeah. You come up with all the good juicy stuff, and I just, it just reminds me of,
no, you get the intricate, detailed stuff and the history there for everyone.
Well, that's been trying to do something fun at my job. Is the team I'm on? We have these little whiteboards, and I've been trying to do the "Did you know?" and then do either some tech related thing or some amusement park related thing. And so they've been liking that whenever I do update it. I
Nice.
was trying to do it daily whenever I first started, but then it morphed into once a week or once every other week, and now I'm it's I'm still trying to do it, but it's difficult.
Yeah,
The life of an IT work guy.
Definitely things get in the way. That's true. But last but not least, I wanted to end on a positive, and I don't have as much info to share about this particular coaster because I haven't ridden it yet, so I don't know it. And I don't like to watch POV videos of coasters that I have not ridden yet, so I've tried not to do that with this. But Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, they have a legendary coaster called the Loch Ness Monster, which opened in 1978. They closed it for the entirety of last year to make significant enhancements and improvements to it, which included enhancing the storytelling aspect to enhancing the track specifically, some special features built within the ride now to help sell the story a bit more, smoothing out the track, replacing certain things, etc. So now it's back and ready to roll for the 2024 season. And here's just a handful of pictures from the reopening that happened not too long ago.
That's always cool whenever they do something like that, actual yellow ribbon cutting.
Yes, definitely. And it looks like they had pretty good lines and pretty good participation for this ride. If we scroll a little bit further down here, here's a look at some of the new enhancements. So what's cool about this ride is I discovered, and you can kind of see it in this very first picture, this was the very first roller coaster to be built that had an interlocking loop. So two loops that interlock within each other.
Huh.
And there have been several that were built afterwards, but I've also discovered that this is now the only remaining roller coaster that has an interlocking loop system within its track.
Oh, wow.
So cool bit of tidbit info there. If anyone's ever interested in trying to check out this ride at Busch Gardens, that is a most unique aspect of this ride compared to the world, I guess you could say. But yeah, like they added this cool little figurine here, or this little Loch Ness Monster fellow as a part of the ride. And there's a better look at the interlocking loops.
Oh, that's cool.
Some of the other tracks there. And then the new monster that they put in. First Hill. I think they did a new paint job as well. I think. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, so this is the good news. And I will update everyone on this particular ride once I get back. And maybe I'll even have some video of it and some pictures to share for the site.
Maybe I'll actually have Amusement Times open.
Oh, yeah.
For business.
That's true. One more thing on that ride. I was reading one of the articles when I was looking this up, and a veteran Busch Gardens goer that has been going for like 30 years or so said about that specific ride that, it was one that I used to skip for a while there, and I would much rather ride other rides. They must have gotten tired or bored of it, or it sounds like it got a little bit bumpy and rough and definitely needed to smooth some of those patches out. So while they interviewed the same person after the grand reopening, and the gentleman was like, this will be in my regular rotation again for riding. So Yay, Loch Ness Monster. Yay, Busch Gardens Williamsburg for fixing that legendary and nostalgic coaster for many to enjoy. And for us to enjoy here pretty soon. So, woo.
Okay. Okay.
And on that positive bit of news.
I definitely want to see some pictures from that whenever you come back.
Oh, yeah, definitely if I can get that that Loch Ness Monster figure, too. That would be great.
And of course, any video, because I can live vicariously through you then.
Yeah, definitely. I do not have the great POV system set up or anything like that on my hat or anything, but
but there's so many of those out there.
True.
That you just, if you want to search for POV Loch Ness Monster, you're going to find it.
True.
So why do us guys in the garage here want to be like everyone else? Come on.
Yeah. That's a good point. But yeah, I will definitely report back on that, as well as the 8 other roller coasters that are at Busch Gardens. Hopefully we'll get to ride them all. And there are 13 roller coasters at King's Dominion. So we're going to try and knock off all of those as well.
I want to see that log ride, keep going.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, you bet. The log ride will be used.
Muting notifications on that one. Like, dang, he's just, racking it. Be like a Bugs Bunny, one of those cartoons where you see the speedometer just, rolling over like that.
Yep. And hopefully what we're hoping is that we're obviously going to go in the weekday for both places. So hopefully park participation is a little bit better than it would be on the weekend, but the kids shouldn't quite yet be out of school either. So we're hoping it's going to be close, but we're hoping.
Yeah, I think they're not going to.
But yeah, 22 roller coasters to knock off in 2 different parks.
Ooh. And how many days?
1 day in each, but we'll be down there for like 5 total days. We're going to do other things while we're down there too, not just.
Okay, so 22 coasters in 2 days.
Correct. That's the hope. And the hope beyond that is ride some of them definitely more than once. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
I'm
that intense. If I can try and ride a roller coaster 10 or 12 times.
I can see the ride operator whenever you come on for the 3rd time and be like, haven't I seen you before?
Oh, yeah. I've got some pretty good stories about closing out parks and riding certain rides successive times, north of 12, 15 times in a row.
Hats off to you, my man.
Yeah, I got really lucky with Kennywood visit one time where that happened with Phantom's Revenge, and then I got really lucky. We our family went to Kings Island outside of Cincinnati, Ohio, one year, and I did that on the Banshee roller coaster. I rode that. There was like nobody in the park. We couldn't believe it. So I literally rode the Banshee like 10 or 12 times in a row until my head started hurting, and then I stupidly decided to go over to the Beast. Is this legendary mega wood roller coaster there that beats the living you-know-what out of you. I rode that 5 times in a row, and by the 5th time, my brain was totally scrambled, but I could have ridden it like, 20 times in a row if I wanted to. Yes. Cheers to that. But the Beast is appropriately named. It fried and scrambled my brain after the 5th time, and I was like, you win. I got my fill.
Tapping up, man.
Yep. Tapping up.
Yeah, I have to ask though, with that the amount of times that you were doing, did they just say, "Oh, just stay on"?
Yes.
Stay on.
So the Kennywood trip, yes, because we were closing out the park. Surprisingly, the Kings Island trip, this was the middle of the day. So I did have to get off because there were enough people to fill up the next train. But as soon as I walked through to get back in, like I walked right back on again. So it was essentially like riding it 10 or 12 times.
They're probably like, sorry, but we got to make you get off to get back on.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if it was
watching.
Yeah. If it was 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and they closed at 8 or 9, they would have probably just been like, you can stay on.
Because that's the most fun. That's even more fun, I think, than just the initial getting on, because you feel like you just won something.
Yes.
We were down in Disney World the one year at the Animal Kingdom and the water ride that they had, and we got on to ride the water ride, and they came back, around, and there was hardly anyone in line, and the guy was like, "You just want to stay on?" Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
all of us stayed on, yeah, and I hope the guy didn't get in trouble, because I thought, the one and someone else was like, "What are you doing?" The I'm sure he's probably like, "Yeah, just there's no one in line, just let him."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, like, if you're there and there's no one else there, there's no reason to get off. So
Yeah, exactly, and plus too, it's Disney World, the park goer is, the king there.
yeah, definitely, definitely. You're right though about winning. It feels like you won something because it'd be like, I don't know. For me, that's like the perfect scenario where it'd be like opening up the golden ticket to Willy Wonka land or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's well, even I mean, if you have to even get off and get back on, it's still, like how we got off and back on for the Rock and Roller Coaster, because
Mm-hmm.
there where it drops you off two different areas. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think they, now if it was a, drop you off and pick you up at the same exact area, then it might be a different thing. But you know,
Right. Yeah.
but still, yeah, that's well. What's even more fun is like the Everest ride at the Animal Kingdom. The one year we we were going to ride, we rode it once, and then I think it was my older son wanted to ride it again, so I'm going back through, and we were waiting in line, and one of the ladies there, the park employees, she looked at us or looked at him and was like, "Oh, hey, you want to ride again?" And he's like, "Sure." Yeah. I'm like, "I gotta go with him." Yeah, Dad's gotta go with him. So we managed to jump the line, got into the back of the coaster, and she got on too as well. I was like, wow, that's even something as simple as that, it feels like you just won, $500.
Yeah. 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 It's the little things like that. Although maybe that's not little, but it is the little things like that that
Yeah, in
just
the big scope
adds
of
your
things,
experience more.
it's little, but still that speaks, that's little, but it's little times 10.
Right. Right. And I love keeping track and numbers of everything. So like, yeah, if you get into a scenario like that and you can just pad the stats, baby, oh man, it's like it's just even better.
Well, do you like that app that I was on?
Yes,
What
I
is
use that. Once you introduced that app to me, I use that all the time now when
that
we go
was
to
that's Log Ride, right?
log ride. Yes, correct. But like we talked about before in the past, I keep my own spreadsheet of every coaster I've ever ridden, how many times. I think I showed everyone last time too. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but still though, this is nice because it's on your phone and you can just mark it down,
And
and
it keeps each unique trip.
yep,
My spreadsheet does not. I just update the numbers on it. So I at least on the log ride app, like you're saying, I have my trip from 2022, my trip from 2024, and
and
every ride I got to ride for that.
yeah, and the best part is it's free.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
So
Yeah.
folks, if you want to keep track of all the rides that you ride, Log Ride, look it up on Android. I think it's on Android, but I know it's on the Apple Store too. So,
Definitely on the Apple Store.
and it's a very, very nice little. And if you set it up with location tracking, as soon as you walk into the park and you open it up, it'll say, "Oh, hey, you're here," uh, and you can just check in and you go about your day, and just you can add up the rides later on or as you go. Oh, hold on a second. There we go.
Quick plug of the app/site we are talking about. This is it here. Log ride. Get the app. Free. Log all your rides.
Sounds great. Oh, I'm pumped for the summer then.
I know, right? Woo.
The now if only the weather would work out.
I
I
know we
don't
were really rolling the dice for this May trip. We'll see.
I don't want this kind of roller coaster. I want the one behind you.
Yeah.
I want I don't like I don't like cold. I like 80 degrees. You know, like I joke with a lot of people. I've waited all winter to sweat. You know, so long as it's not humid. I don't like humid, but
That's true. We did get graced with some 80-degree weather there about a month ago or a half month ago, but then it did cool down again rather quickly. It's been pretty mild for the most part, but yeah, the weather, the precipitation side of things has been wild.
the I did want to ask. I did want to go to Waldameer. Speaking of Waldameer, I did want to go there this year, so I will let you know when see if we can make arrangements to see if you guys can go as well too. So
Mm-hmm.
the more the merrier, I always say.
Yeah, definitely. We'll work something out.
So, and speaking of Waldameer, the Ravine Flyer. I think it's Ravine Flyer 2. Ooh, that's a fun ride. Let me see if I think I can. That is, talk amongst yourselves, folks. But the Ravine Flyer is
that will be excellent for me because I've never been to that park. So, and I'm pretty sure my wife has not either. So we would get to check another one off the list and then several rides off of it as well, and have a reason to go see Erie. I've been to Erie once. I don't think Ash has ever been to Erie yet. So be a fun little trip, fun little time. Enjoy it.
Yeah, hold your horses there, folks. I will share screen. Yeah, okay. We'll share that one. Oop. And if I can do this over here so I can see what. Okay, there we go. And then, yeah, that's a fun ride.
Oh, it's wood.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's going to show it, but yeah, it's all wooden coaster. It's an intense ride, and what it does is actually goes over the road that goes down to the peninsula.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got a great lift, hill, and drop, and you could see the lake from there.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it's and if you're riding in the front, oh man, that's
oh yeah, front. My father-in-law always says front row, front car, front car, front row, something like that.
Yeah,
he's all about that.
And then it just like it goes over the road and then loops back around, quickly, and then comes back across, and it's just it's fun.
Very nice. And this is the park where you pay for each ride individually?
You can, or you can buy a ride all day.
Oh, gotcha. Right. You did say that. Okay.
There's also I think it was let me see if the other amusement park, or the other the other coaster that they have up there is coaster. The other coaster that they have is really fun too. It's no, don't want that one. Hold on.
Looks like they had a third one.
They probably do. Oh, I got to share that one. That's why. I'm still learning this stuff, folks. Just calm down for a second. And then, yeah, the Comet.
Ah.
It's just a nice little tight, compact coaster, and they're probably not going to have anything but car ride. Let's see if I can find something else. But it's a fun little coaster as well too.
Yeah, got to knock them all off if we visit there for sure.
And yeah, it just where's It's just a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like, yeah, I'm not seeing too many good. There's a lot of oh, well, no, that's POV. Let's share this. At least give you a little bit better. It's just a nice little compact ride, coaster.
Yeah.
It's within the trees and everything.
Oh, so it's like, yeah, it's kind of like submersed within the forest area or something like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool how they do that. How they build the trees around it.
And I mean, it's just fun. It's like I said, it's just a compact little coaster, but it's an intense one.
Right. Yeah.
I think Coaster Dynamics, I think did a model of this one. I'd have to look it up. If you I think that's who that did that. They did a working scale model of the Comet.
Oh.
Coaster. And it was really cool. So talk amongst yourselves.
Do you have this model that you'll be building?
I wish. Yeah. Here. I think this is it. Yeah.
I've never built a model, but they do sound like they're fun.
Here, what's is this it? Yeah.
Oh wow. Very nice.
It actually gets a yeah, and the whole thing about it is it actually works too. You can look it up on YouTube. You'll see people that build it. It's a HO scale model, and it's a fun little model. I would love to have it, but it's out of production now, and yeah, I even tried emailing the company, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we stopped production on that." They have a Lego version of it, or some type of Lego version of it, Connects, or I forget what they call it, but I don't think putting that on an amusement park or a model train layout would look right.
Yeah. We have to go try and find it on eBay.
Yeah, but there again, that's you're paying a small fortune for that.
Yeah, it could be. Very true. Very true.
But anyways, so you got anything else for us, or
No, I think that's pretty much it in terms of parks and stuff and trips. And
has the good night heart lit up on the Kennywood entrance? Did you ever see that?
oh yeah, definitely. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They have for me.
Yeah, and then also too, they actually right at the very end when they are closing, because my brother and I have closed out of the park a couple times. They actually play like that old doo-wop song, "Good Night, Sweetheart,"
Yes.
and other things like that. And it's like, oh, I guess it's time to go.
Yes. I know which song you're referencing very well. We've heard it a few times too. Good song to play. Sad song at that point of the night, but
Yeah, but still though, we had some. You always have some fun. Whenever when it comes to that point in time, you're just about ready to go anyway. So,
yeah, that's true. It's late enough.
but anyways, cheers to you.
Yes, cheers to you all, fine folks. As you can see, my invisible glass. It's magic. It's really not, but it's there.
So what do we say? We turn the good night heart on and close up shop.
Sounds good, my friend.
So, but as always, it's been a great time. Let me get this out of here. It's always been a good time talking to you, as always. And I definitely want to hear more about these amusement parks. And
Oh, you definitely shall. And you find folks out there, you come back, because next time we will be talking about that for sure.
okay. So I guess we know what I know what the
We might as well let the good folks know too.
a
little bit about it.
All I can say is you're very knowledgeable on the coasters here, so hence the name Coaster Ninja.
Yeah, somewhat. I'm not as knowledgeable as some, but I do have an obsession and a passion for it.
Oh well, you had me right there. You have a passion for it. Obsession, okay, hey, everyone has an obsession.
Or two, or three.
But anyways, I guess let me see if we can if this will work out. Yes, folks, we're trying this live, so okay, so it actually was starting, but we're gonna sign off, and I've been Matt Guy and
Coaster Ninja, and we will see you on the flip side.
See you guys.